Hi there everyone, and a warm welcome to the YouTube video here on the channel. My name is Emily. Today we're in Vancouver and we are getting airborne, and we are going to be flying today over to Victoria. So I'm just going to get airborne, get above the trees. So the world update for Canada recently released for me. Oh my god, Vancouver downtown looks amazing. Just going to do my turn out here. Avoid the city, stay over the water, but oh god. I believe this area of Vancouver is called Gastown. But yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool indeed. This is, yeah. So I actually visited this area. Pretty close at Lightning, the seaplane aircraft terminal for Harbour Air, who does all the flying. It's actually just behind us now. Wow. This looks amazing. This is just the world update, no other mods at all in. Okay, that doesn't look as great. Wow. So we'll fly over towards Lionsgate Bridge, correction. What I'll do is I'll turn this way, just to show the location that we, yeah, so the terminal's down there. Sort of in the 12 o'clock there now, that area there. Yeah, anyway. We'll pull the power off a little. I'm gonna take the chance, rebase my throttles. And wow, this is pretty cool. So obviously you've got the Port of Vancouver in front of us there. I'm going to push down slightly. So you can see this is the rail terminal. So last winter there was some major flooding, and obviously this all got flooded out. But we're going to fly over this way. We're going to actually fly around and fly down to Vancouver, down to Victoria. So this is sort of a commuter run, really, is the best way to describe it. There we go. So I'm just going to exit the area of the Lionsgate Bridge. We're not over by the park. I've been over at the North Vancouver as well there. So strange things you remember about holidays. So it was 18 when I was here. I know 25, so it was 7 years ago. But there was a, well, there still will be. I'm pretty sure that's, yeah, it's a bit weird over this side. I know I've been over at the north side. I'm just not sure which part of the north side, Yeah, I'm not sure, but it wasn't sort of as industrial as that. It was like a merchant marine school and stuff, but yeah. Anyway, as I sort of fly along here, I sort of, the strange things you remember, right? So I'm obviously half Czech, and I'm walking, through North Vancouver, and all I hear is like people speaking in Czech. I'm like, the fuck? Can't escape you guys anywhere. That is a really cool perspective. So we are flying the Pilatus PC6 today, the turbo porter, correction. And it is pretty special for it to fly about in this. So I'm just going to handrail the coastline here. This, to me, is where MSFS excels. Airline flying's great, but 500 feet, fully by hand, that's pretty great fun. Like I was earlier today, I was showing a screenshot of MSFS, and I was like, wait, that's MSFS? Wait, what? Like, it's pretty special. So we'll fly, we'll just track along. Wow. This hazy scenery, or this hazy weather, is actually really cool. I've earned free stuff, which isn't showing, which is great. So, I need to check out where my trim wheel is on this thing. It does not feel like I have trim bound, which is unfortunate. So I'm going to set my altitude at 2,500 feet, or 3.5k will do. And then I'll go autopilot, and then seems to be climbing there. So what I can do is arm the altitude, then, where's my nav source on this thing? Actually, we're on GPS mode. So go straight into nav mode there. So nav mode's armed. So, where's my audio gone? There it is. As soon as we intercept the course, which will be in a little while, we're going to go straight over the top of Vancouver International, which is fine. Yeah. So yeah, you can see because we've got the big floats on the bottom of the aircraft, those are obviously having an impact on us, on our ability to make, you know, on our forward speed. But yeah, this is pretty special actually. That's the thingy, the not a monorail. Might as well be a freaking monorail. I can't remember what it's called. It's not the Sky Train. It's Sky Train. That's the one. Sky Train. So CYVR Vancouver International. We're going to go straight over the top of it. Now, of course, this is the Pacific Northwest. I'm doing this at actually the 30th of September. So the weather, you know, obviously can change quite fast in these parts of the world. So we're just going to fly down to Victoria today, hopefully land on the water down there. And, you know, have a great time. To be honest, I'm quite happy just to, literally... There we go. Thumbnail. Thumbnail. Someone... my internet connection again. Nope, I should have the internet back. Okay, so if we start hitting patchiness, yeah, so we basically got permission to go straight over the top of Vancouver. So, you know, they're going to slot us in between traffic, but it's basically easier for us to go straight over the top than it is to be, you know, on the... There we go. Not sure what happened there. So this is one of the handcrafted airports. This is done by Asobo themselves. Actually, it looks pretty good. Sorry about that. I couldn't, for some reason, get my mouse to click on it. Oh, I should pull power back a lot, actually. There we go. What I'll do is I'll pull up a bit steeper. There we go, so the aircraft's now happy that it's intercepting. This is honestly amazing. This is exactly what, you know, I know it's satellite scenery and all that kind of stuff, but it's, when you say this is exactly what I remember, like all the colours, and you know, it's not, I remember that building right there, I know that's a school or whatever. It's more, you know, the colours and the vibe of the area, because I went in about September time actually, when I went over, and the weather was really nice actually, in fairness. But the colours and that slightly washed out, but also Mount Rainier over there in the background, all of that behind us, you know. Paranoia is kicking a little bit. Yeah, a bit more power. What I'll do is pull us back. Yeah, I can't move that really because on max or low idle, and I don't feel like low idle is where I should be in the cruise. What I will do is when we level off, let the speed build a bit, and then pull back on the proper bit, so that we're not knackering that entirely. I mean, the RPM is going to be pretty up there. Or not the RPM, but the actual strain we put on the prop. So CYYJ, I believe is the ICAO for the thing there. It's about 11 minutes of flying time. Auto trim, your trim. There you go. So just shove the autopilot on, let it keep itself, you know, nice and smooth. As we now head over the water here. So, interesting little idiosyncrasy of history. If you look at a map and you see the border between the US and Canada, it is drawn as a straight line. I believe it's the 53rd parallel. But if you look at a map, hang on, I'm going to zoom out a little so I don't dox myself. Yep, so if you look at a map, just near where we are, it does look to be about the 53rd parallel. This area to our, yeah, so this is Tawasin. This is a large sort of coal and ferry terminal. But over that sort of straight line across, that's actually the USA. That we're flying past. That is Point Roberts. It's, I'm not actually sure if it's technically considered an enclave. I think it is. But basically, it's just it's just a straight, you know, the way the border is drawn. Obviously, it's just a straight line, straight across. So technically, we'll clip through US airspace for a few moments here, just with the way the lines are drawn. Because basically, it'll probably be Seattle Center will be in charge of the airspace up to about, you know, there's sort of a point of corner here on the who what belongs to, you know, and it's actually pretty much over in, you know, down there is basically US airspace. You can see looking down, that's Tawasin, well, so it's the native name for it, which is Tsawwassen, and that's where the ferries leave. So if you actually want to go on a ferry to Victoria, you've got Schwartz Bay, and then you drive past Victoria Airport, which has a really cool aviation museum actually that I've been to. I need to go back here. Need to do that. That's a pretty cool perspective down there, right? So we've got the piles of coal, and then over there is where the passengers ferries leave from. So you've got some intermodal. You've got, like, see these. I remember these heaps of coal just being massive, because it's presumably export. Not sure actually where from. I remember like big CP, you know. I mean, they were wide nose locos. I can't recognise them. You know, I wasn't good enough to recognise them at the distance they were at. But they were, you know, they were big bits of kit. So yeah. Right. I'm just looking around the cockpit here. It's a really interestingly done design. Probably should have mine on. So I normally have backlighting on when I'm train driving, but I was like, I wonder what it looked like in this, and it looked rubbish. So yeah. Got my lights on now. I did put them on in the down position. That's a little bit frustrating. You can see that it's not obviously perfectly centered. So this is Vancouver Island we're flying towards. Well, more technically the main island probably, or Galliano. We basically go straight down the middle, and that high terrain on the other side is actually where we're going to. So basically, well, not quite, that high terrain is actually the US. But, you know, it gives you an idea that actually, you know, this is a pretty special part of the world. So I'm trying to talk about, I can't really keep talking about stuff, but I'm running out of stuff to talk about. The railway connection, of course. The first Capital Connect named one of their 365s, Captain Vancouver, who was the British captain who was responsible for the naming of Vancouver. We're running out of things, guys. Please help. I did some travelling today and got some video done. So I decided to do passenger mode IRL, which you'll probably see if you haven't seen it already. Yeah, you'll probably see it the next couple of days. I want to do some work to it first. So I'm just seeing what we've got. So that's my gear. Flap. You should always familiarise yourself with your aircraft before taking it into the sky. Stab trims, emergency fuel control. Cool. I'm trying to figure out where the water rudders are on this thing. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cheat slightly. I'm going to go... There we go. You saw nothing, you know nothing. Now, it just means we'll be able to taxi in Victoria, basically. Yeah, so like I say, it's a cool little area. This, like, even at, we're just sort of cruising at 3,500 feet, which IMO is the best altitude to cruise at. Like, see all the trees and all the, yeah. And you can understand actually to an extent deforestation, because these areas, until a couple of hundred years ago, will have been fully covered in trees. You can obviously see patches taken out for housing and stuff. That'll be... What's that down there? So we're probably in this area, looking down at towards... Yes, this is all a nature reserve. But if I'm over the top of this island, that'll be Orcas Island actually. So if you guys remember, your Orbeck scenery and bush flying in well, P3D pretty much, and FSX. So yeah, nice small little aircraft flying about. We're flying about in today. This is actually a cool little thing. The place we're going to be flying past, which will be Victoria, that's actually where they're built Twin Otters now. And because obviously the Havre in Canada unbecame a thing, it's Viking Aviation that builds them now. And I think they've also got the build rights for, after Bombardier collapsed, they got one of their aircraft, and it might be the CRJs they got, but I'm not sure. I think those went to a Chinese company. I'm genuinely not sure now. Was it the Dash 8s? I think it might be the Dash 8s they got. Still pretty cool though. So I'm just going to crack open a cold one if you guys don't mind. Thanks for your permission. Jack Daniels and Coke is my tipple of choice tonight. It's been a long day. So we are... What I'm going to do actually is zoom out on this, which... It's actually really good, handy. Oh, right. So I got a bit further to go than we thought. So this is quite good to see, though. So you'll see CYWH is our final destination. So if I look at flight plan, it's a total to run. Okay, it's actually saying 5 minutes flying time till we get there. So probably, probably a bit longer than that till we land, but still, it's good to know. So this gives you sort of big picture idea where in the world we are. If I'm not sure how to say it's a north up, but we are flying from pretty much G180. Probably about, 5 mile range, that good. So Pender is our first waypoint today. Not sure how I managed to not notice that, but we'll gloss over that. And yeah, we'll just leave everything else the way it is. So that is Schwartz Bay, I think. About the area for Schwartz Bay. Something I'd like to be proud of me of for today. I've not had any energy drinks. Are you proud of me, Internet? Please be proud of me. Why aren't you proud of me? No! Be proud of me. Be proud of me. That is all. So we are literally just going to hang out in the cruise now. Not that far to go. I'm trying to find stuff to talk about, but it is. I am sort of like, let's talk about stuff. Let's talk about more stuff. You know. So yeah, like I said, I went up to Edinburgh. I did some. So I was like, you know what? I'll go up to Edinburgh. They've got a Hamleys. They've got a Lego store. I'll go halfway for a say. You know, Hamleys tends to do Hornby stuff. They didn't do Hornby stuff in the one in Edinburgh. It was a tiny one. It was in one of the shopping centres I've never actually been to. So normally when I go to Edinburgh, those of you who are familiar with Edinburgh, there's obviously Princes Street, and there's the sort of the area south of, you know, in broad terms, to me, you know, the railway is a good sort of dividing, you know, understanding of the divides in Edinburgh. And I normally tend to hang out sort of south of Waverley Station, broadly, like south of the railway line. Never really been north much, so I was like, I'll do that today. And I visited one of the model shops and bought a train because I'm addicted, I think. I think I need help, but, you know, it's the nature of the beast. See, I'm worried if I put that cover down, that's just going to knock everything off. We'll do it after we land, see what it does. Sorry about that. Just had to sneeze. For real this time. Not just like doing a pause sneeze. Don't know I was going high pitch. Oh dear. I feel like I'm doing the sounds from, like, what do you call the guy who's in Vicky Dibley? Switching Condi. So we're going for, it does feel weird flying a seaplane over land, I've got to say. So wish I knew where in the world we were. Let's have a look at a map. We're looking at a map. So actually, yeah, we are further down the coast than I thought. So that's Sinatcherton on our right hand side. There was, I think from memory, in this area there was a cool, like, what do you call it? Butterfly farm place that we visited. That was quite nice. But you're looking down. It's like I say, I love the fact that just the way the colours are captured, I think, is what does it for me. Yeah. You know, you can get satellite images, but you can get satellite images and do it wrong. Is I guess the point I'm trying to make here. You know, looking at, like, flying about here, looking out the window, it definitely feels like, you know, it's done, but it's also done the right way. We may be weathered out of Victoria if this fog doesn't, you know. I'm not sure if this is low cloud or fog. When I dropped it, if it gets much lower than this, we might have to go and land at Victoria Airport. For those of you wondering, that's it right there. We should probably talk into the air traffic, but to be honest, I've never played a sim where I've enjoyed talking to the default air traffic. So yeah, this will be Cordova Bay. Cordova Bay. So we've got about 4 minutes to run now. So we'll go overland here, and then, like I say, what we'll do is I'm probably gonna... You guys can see my mouse, right? Yes, you can. Probably just come out to the left, come in, land like that. So like track outbound, sort of 270 turn land. You can sort of drop in over the city, not using much power, not making much noise. There's also a Navy base in this area somewhere. I think it's this area here, so to the right of track. So that's where we're going to be landing. Again, I've been to Victoria. It was really cool, actually. There was, like a week after we were there was a big cougar by the, you know, I think it was some sort of, probably not a cougar, but like some sort of predatory animal that lives in the Demdare Hills, basically. Came into the town and was seen by the government building, which is like one of the government buildings downtown here. Victoria is one of the custom done cities, so I'm really interested to see how it's actually been done. I do feel like I'm coming in high, so I'm just going to go autopilot off. We'll just knock it off fully. I'll leave my auto trim in though, because that's been quite handy. I'm not going to take much power out, but yeah, just enough to slowly start us descending. I'm going to do a quick test of the auto rudder system. Good, it deploys, so we'll be able to steer the aircraft after landing. So, Victoria and Nanaimo are the two busiest seaplane airports in the world. Nanaimo is just up the coast, over sort of that way, the east coast further. But I am definitely planning to do some sort of Pacific Northwest stuff. It depends on the viewer response it gets, to be totally honest. The problem I have is I'm sort of leading my content by about a month. So, I'm like I say, I'm recording this at the end of September. You guys are going to be watching this probably midway through November. So about a month and a half, really. And, yeah. And a month and a half, a lot changes, put it that way, so... This is pretty cool. Again, it's just, it does feel familiar, and I like that a lot. So the government building is over there, that sort of grassy area. You can just make it out down there, over the dashboard. Like I say, we'll fly down and have a look in. And that's the Navy base over there, which we're not going to look at. Because we're not here for China. It feels, what I like about the waterways in Victoria, it sort of feels like I'm looking at a model. And I like that. I like that a lot. So yeah, there's a little water taxi service. I remember we were actually in Victoria, walking along, and we must have been in this area, and I saw a twin otter come in here, and he's actually banking maybe less than 100 feet off the water, and I'm thinking, you know when you have that in your head thought of, I'm about to see a plane crash. Okay, so I'm going to close the throttles now, and we'll land. I had that sort of internal thought, and that was a really strange thought for me to have at that point in my life. So, yeah. That's really cool, actually. I'm just looking at the back there. Back out over the Pacific. And get nice and low, and then basically pull power. Yeah, we're sort of maybe a bit higher than I thought, but still, like, I just, as someone who, especially in the UK, you just don't get much of a GA scene at all. And sort of this altitude doing this sort of approach, it was very, very strange to witness. I'll go intentionally wide to make my turn in as loose as possible. See what I mean though? It is very, obviously, totally safe as you can see. Wow. Those ships of the thingy have been attacked by some weird parasite. Insert you know, alien horror flick here. Full flap. Power on. Welcome to Victoria. There we go. So just taxi in. I'm gonna just, you know, again, it doesn't seem, you know, especially with the seaplane seaplane nature of this area, it doesn't feel like they've modelled it particularly well for that. I mean, I'm literally on the runway here and I've got tires, but it is, the seaplane base was sort of over here. So we'll head over this way. Got one of my t-shirts actually I still have. No. Oh god, help! So over there, that sort of ready building there that's really badly deformed, is where I got my bear t-shirt, which I still have. It's very tired now, but I still have it. Uh-oh. Guess I'm going over here. So yeah, in front of us you can see the I'm not sure if it's actually a Capitol, but obviously the dome building there. No, I just have no steerage. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Problem. Drifto. Oh well. We'll move over here. This is fine. I'm not sure. I think this is a ferry terminal, but it's fine. There we go. We've wedged in something. Does this... There we go. Alright. So guys, welcome to Victoria. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm going to park up over here somewhere. Thank you for watching, guys. I've really enjoyed that, actually. I enjoyed that a lot. What we'll do is we'll shut the aircraft down here. We'll just pretend we've moored. For legal reasons, this isn't in front of us. So, what we'll do is we'll go low idle. And then... So I'll then just knock all my... I'm going to knock all my electrical supplies off. There we go. Guard that down. That is still spinning somehow. Okay, we'll just pretend I've shut it down, alright? Oh no, fuel system valve, there we go. There we go. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, bye-bye.